Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to this session. In this video, we'll talk about one of the most important thing that is North Star metric, right? And this is if you're working as a product manager for a product, this metric is something is very crucial for your whole product for a long-term success. So in this video, we'll see what, why, and how of the product. Uh, and before we start, I will give you an analogy of a North Star metric and make you familiar by giving an analogy that if you see the literal meaning of North Star metric, it's like a compass, right? Just think about the people who are sailing on the same boat, just as sailors uses the North Star metric to navigate. Think about the whole product team is also sitting on the sail, and their only objective is to make the product successful. And what actually keep them moving in the right direction is North Star metric. So this is a metric which will keep the whole team to steer their product strategy in the right direction, right? Now, why exactly this North Star metric is important? As a product team, or I would say as a product manager, to be precise, when you're working in such an agile environment where you have the say of different stakeholders, be it from marketing, be it from a sales team, from where you will getting the feed from the customers, you'll be working with the legal team, you will be working with the user research team and the engineering team, right? So there would be a lot of inputs, but what keeps you focused is the North Star metric, and that is why it is important for the whole product team. It brings focus, clarity, and prioritization. So focus, I've already clarified that it keeps everyone stay focused and remain distracted. I would say, to refrain distraction by moving in different directions, right? Then is about clarity. Let's say when you are coming up with a lot of other metrics, right? North Star metric will always keeps you focused what to chase for, right? Which metrics to chase for. Vanity metrics, when I'm talking about, most of the product teams which I have seen when I'm working with different other products, even I was also the victim of that initial phases when we were building on some of the marketplace, we were looking after the vanity metrics such as number of page visits, number of downloads of the applications, but that was not that could be a short term, short term success metrics, you can say, or short term metrics which a product team could follow, but that is not a long term success matrix. And the long term success matrix is what, or I would say the long term value which the customer should derive is directly mapped to the North Star metric, and that's how it brings clarity. And the third thing is about the prioritization. Now, as a product team, you don't have infinite time, right? It's very important as a product manager you prioritize the right set of capabilities which you want to infuse in your product, right? So we will focus on something which directly moves the needle, or I would say directly moves the North Star metric or pushes it up, and keeping apart the rest of the things which might not be the worth the effort is, right? Now, this is what the I would say the North Star metrics brings value to the product team: focus, clarity, and prioritization. How do we define a good North Star metric? This is something we'll look afterwards when I will go to my notebook and show you how do we define a good North Star metric. But before that, what are the key attributes of a good North Star metric? Uh, there are three key attributes of a good North Star metric. That is, it should directly link to the customer value. It should be measurable and it should be actionable. But what do you mean by directly linked to the customer value? So let's say you have built an application uh, which say improves uh, the experience, or I would say the fitness of your employees. Let's say we are building an application called Fit One, and the objective of that is to improve the fitness of the employees. Right? So your North Star metric should directly link if it is improving the fitness of the employees or not. It shouldn't linked, or you should not, the North Star metric shouldn't be the number of daily active users or number of downloads. That's a different thing. That's a vanity metrics, right? The other thing is should be measurable, right? It should be quantifiable. If it is very subjective or very qualitative in nature, you won't be able to measure it in the right way. And the third thing, it should be actionable. When I seen when I'm saying it's actionable, I mean to say that it shouldn't be driven by the external factors. So let's say when you are building key capabilities or when your product team is working on the product, your North Star metric should be influenced by the kind of capabilities or by the kind of improvement you are making in your product, and then it should go up, right? The North Star metric should be mapped to what kind of, how exactly you're building the product, right? That's how you, that's how I'm defining it. It should be actionable. Now, before we go ahead and do an exercise where we'll take a product and then how exactly we can define a North Star metric for that product, we'll see that if this North Star metric is something can change or not. Is it a static metric? So, can North Star metric change? I would say North Star metric can change, and it can evolve. For example, let's take a Facebook. Let's take Facebook, right? And I believe all of the audience would be familiar with the Facebook. So Facebook, when they were in the early stage, their North Star metric was friend connections, like the number of friend connections, because at that point of time, Facebook was focused on new user signups, friend connections, because the core value was centered around helping people, connect with their friends and grow their social network. So Facebook believed that if people are able to connect with their friends and grow their network, that's how they will be able to stay engaged in the long-term value with the Facebook, right? But now, if you see the current stage, that what Facebook realized, that the number of friends was not the indicator of the long-term success, or I would say the long-term, user engagement of that particular uh, product, right? So people could have many friends, but they're still not engaging with content on the Facebook. That's what they even saw, and that's how they pivoted their North Star metric from number of friend connections to the daily active users or the time spent on the platform. And as this matrix reflected how engaged the users were and how much value they are able to get from the Facebook. So you see that how exactly the North Star metric of the Facebook evolved from the number of friend connections to the engagement and the daily active users. Now we'll move on to the next screen. I will change the view, and we'll see how exactly we identify a North Star metric.